Watch this video if you're learning. Oh, you already clicked. Well, let's see what Japanese looks like. A typical Japanese sentence typically has these three different scripts. The squiggly ones are called hiragana. Katakana is rather sharp, and then we have kanji, which look like Chinese characters because they are. You might be wondering, why? To answer this, we're gonna have to go back in time. The first Japanese writing probably looked something like this. Full Chinese characters because, well, it was classical Chinese. But classical Chinese is not at all Japanese. The grammar is different. The vocabulary is different. And need I say more? The Japanese began developing their own writing system, which was still full Chinese characters, but it was actually a clever system used to reflect how Japanese sounded like. And as time goes by, this writing system simplified into the three scripts that we know and love today. So, what do the scripts do? Let's take a look at this sentence. John はアイスクリームを食べた. This means John ate ice cream. Right off the bat, we see that John and ice cream just sound like John and ice cream. And so they are written using katakana because they're loanwords. Anyways, what about this Chinese character? I mean kanji. This is the character for eat. And as you can guess, this word means to eat. Well, what about this? This is hiragana, and it's mostly used for grammar. How so? Well, if we change this word from tabeta into tabenai, the sentence actually becomes John doesn't eat ice cream. This is called verb conjugation. But anyways, notice how the sentence literally goes, John, ice cream, ate. Seems backwards, but this is because Japanese is an SOV language. Subject, object, verb. For comparison, English is subject, verb, object. To indicate what is the subject and what is the object, we use something called particles in Japanese. Here, I used wa and o, but there are a lot more. Finally, let's talk a little bit more about kanji. Each kanji has its own meaning, and so it's often used in vocabulary. In Japanese, kanji is pretty interesting in that it tends to have many readings. For example, the kanji we saw earlier, it is read as taberu, but also as shoku, as in the word shokuyoku, meaning appetite. This is something called onyomi and kunyomi. Generally speaking, onyomi is basically Sino-Japanese, which is basically how the characters originally sounded in Chinese, but modified into Japanese. And kunyomi is native Japanese words that are written with kanji that share the same meaning, like the word taberu, meaning to eat, written with the same kanji that means to eat as well.